pact between Excellency President El Sisi and Emmanuel Macron. This could deepen the mutual Egyptian and French ties. It represents also a great tie and a great model of the Egyptian Francophonic and French ties, and can also represent Egypt's stand on the African scale. Yes, we are feeling very proud that Egypt is going to be the qibla of the whole world in different levels, in different organizations and different perspectives, because we are feeling very secure, stability and security here in Egypt.
نتحدث اليوم عن جامعة سنغار على أرض الإسكندرية.
We're speaking about Singapore University. Let's speak more about the Francophonie. Francophonie is one of the tools of Francophonie and French language. Speaking about Francophonie, let's talk about the people who have founded this mechanism of Francophonie. The most popular one is Sidar Senghar, and he is the person the university is being entitled to, and Al-Habib Bourguiba, the Tunisian president. Both of them see that the international culture has a kind of a bridge of connectivity which is going to be indulged in the French language, and the other counterpart is saying that the language of France is the new world language. Yes, the Egyptian citizen is the person who is Boutros Ghali. Recalling Francophonie, let's talk more about Boutros Ghali. He is the first General Secretary for Francophonie, and he has a great interest, and he has moved the OIF, not just a kind of an entity using language in art and poetry, but also a great entity using Francophonie and language in supporting democracy and human rights in the African continent. Dr. Boutros Ghali has a great experience in international work. Before being the General Secretary for OIF, he used to work in the United Nations Secretary. So Dr. Boutros Ghali has managed to shift this OIF to an entity supporting human rights, strengthening diplomacy and democracy in the African countries. And he has played a very important role to support the existence of Senghar University in Alexandria, seeing that culture started from Alexandria, this cosmopolitan city had a lot of literary men and also poets. It has different cultures, Romanian cultures, Roman culture, and Greek culture. So it has its own great oversight over the Mediterranean Sea. So the site of Alexandria is a symbol of connectivity between the African country and the Egyptian efforts and the Egyptian desire to preserve the Francophonie. He has played a very important part in the scalable image of Francophonie in African countries. Yes, Francophonie concept is different than it was before, as the new directiveness of the French government is not just to impose the French culture as a culture or as a culture heritage in the African countries, but now the French country is seeing a different perspective here and supporting the role of Senghor University in Egyptian sides is a kind of a supporting element for supporting the Egyptian and African youth. Egypt is supporting the Francophone extension in the African continent, but also supporting its own culture identity and historical identity. Egypt is a great platform in which all of us are meeting each other because we have a great depth historical wise, because we are a Quranic and Arabic and Islamic and African country. So Africa, historically wise and geographically, is belonging to us, or we belong to Africa. So we give great interest to the sustainable development in the African continent. Giving great interest to Senghor University is a very important perspective in supporting the African continent. Yes, it's not just about geographical extension, but it's a great connectivity, economical and political connectivity through ages, and the great role of great liberation movements through great leaders, Gamal Abdel Nasser, supporting all the liberty movements conducted previously. And from here, Egypt, most of these movements has been launched supported by Egyptian state and Egyptian government. So they feel great gratitude to Egypt's efforts being exerted in that era. So most of these African countries have gained their own independence outside of this colonizer control. Yes, France is there to invest in its own resources to achieve a great and comprehensive future for our own youth. All of these youth are seeking how to upgrade the usage of their own resources. So all the countries, European countries and foreign countries right now are dealing differently with the African countries. Senghor University is one of the great pillars of OIF. It has strategic and political dimensions, having a kind of a bridge of connective relations and ties, not just with the Arab and African nations. Yes, governments could be affected by its own political directiveness, but ties among peoples cannot be impacted, but maybe shall be more authentic, more tighter than it was before, as these relations are deep. Yes, having African students in Egypt generally, and especially in Alexandria, giving them opportunity to work together with the Egyptian life and Egyptian citizen in order to comprehend the depth life of Egyptian life and community, and it has its own impact in the coming future. We didn't know that supporting Egypt in the 60s in the past century could make all this love and great ties from its own neighboring countries. Yes, supporting Egypt right now in all different pathways and Egyptian efforts being exerted on the education-wise and other different levels has its own impact, long-term impact on the Egyptian Francophone ties. France's interest in having such a kind of a university in Egypt's city, it could say that can find Egypt a trustworthy country, finding Egypt as an African gate upon which it could help the Francophone extension could be there, and supporting education and African youth. Yes, it has a very bitter and superioritical impact having such kind of university. So university here, message here is not just about education, but it goes beyond education. It has different messages, different dimensions, strategic-wise, culture-wise, social-wise, economic-wise. So it's very important to support education and African students here in Egypt.
جمهورية مصر العربية وفخامة الرئيس إيمانويل ماكرون
President of the Republic of Egypt and also the President of France.
El Sisi, le président de la République arabe d'Égypte, et son Excellence le président Emmanuel Macron, le président de la République française et les éminents chefs de délégation. أصحاب الفخامة رئيس جمهورية مصر العربية وفرنسا، أصحاب المعالي، رؤساء الحكومات والوزراء، السيدة سكرتير عام المنظمة الدولية للفرنكوفونية،
the Secretary General of the International Organization for the Francophonie, directors of international organizations and high educational institutions in Egypt and France, Your Excellencies, the faculty members, deans and vice deans. In the framework of this strengthened cooperation between Egypt and France and the Francophone countries, the Senghor University is pleased today to host Their Excellencies, the Presidents of the Arab Republic of Egypt and the French Republic for the opening of its new campus in the city of Borg Al Arab in Alexandria. That is offered by the Egyptian Republic. It's a new campus that can also be a symbol of the Egyptian Francophone partnership, and it is designed as per the state-of-the-art international standards to be a center for scientific research. It also hosts state-of-the-art libraries, classrooms and sports facilities and cultural places that enables the university to host more students and to create an environment conducive for excellence and innovation in order to support the objectives of sustainable development in the African continent. Dear participants, allow me now to give the floor to His Excellency Dr. Hani Hilal, the Chairman of the Board of the Senghor University, and Dr. Thierry Verdel, the Executive Dean of the University, to tell us the story of how the university started from an ambitious idea to where it is today. They will tell us about their role in achieving the university's goals. Please have the floor, sirs.
Your Excellency, the President of Arab Republic of Egypt, Your Excellency, the President of the French Republic and the President of the Francophonie, ministries, Madam Secretary General of the Francophonie, graduates and colleagues. It's an honor today for me and my colleague Thierry to present the ceremony in the form of a dialogue in French and Arabic languages. Please use the interpretation headsets. We are going to present our ceremony in both languages, Arabic and French. Please use the interpretation headsets. Thank you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. With Dr. Hani, we are a team for more than 10 years, and it's normal to be here today together. That's why they call us the Deo of Senghor. We'd like to welcome you in the new campus of Senghor University, the Center of Excellence to qualify the African cadres. 35 years ago, the leaders of Francophone had bet on an ambitious idea to establish a university on the Egyptian land to teach in French language and specialize in preparing the African cadres and qualifying them from all the African countries so that it can support the development in Africa and to be the ambassadors of change. And yes, the promise was fulfilled. Since the establishment of the university, Senghor University has played its role in the buildings in the heart of Alexandria that had been allocated by the Egyptian government for temporarily. It was negotiated in all the board meetings of the university. Yes, the buildings were temporary, but they were full of warmth and partnership. But in these spheres, generation after generation, the students from all African Francophone and Haiti have received distinguished learning, and they return back to their home countries where they left an impact. Do you remember, Thierry, 10 years ago when you assumed your position? I asked you whether you are ready to move to a new campus. Yes, I recall this well, and you asked the question as it is just a matter of formality, but it was a dream, and I asked, how can we do that? I said, I don't know yet, but together and with the political support, we can succeed. And now, Thierry, we can see the dream come true. Yes, you were right, Hani, my dear. That's why I would like to speak about Egypt. Your Excellency, President Sisi, in 1990, your country has received a university with an international message. This gesture of generosity was the trigger for all what we have built till now after 35 years. So it's not just a gesture of generosity, but we can see what's more through the next video.
Africa is changing, and it advances and invents and dares every day. The men and women of Africa change their communities, and behind every project there's a vision. Behind every vision there is a competency. Behind each competency there is an education. For more than 35 years in the heart of Alexandria, a university makes agents of change, which is the University of Senghor. The story starts in 1989 in Dakar, when the heads of state and government of the Francophonie took an ambitious decision, which is to create a university that helps in the development of Africa. One of excellence, one of accomplishments. A university which is forward-looking and that will carry the name of Léopold Sédar Senghor. In it also feature the names of Boutros Ghali, Maurice Drone, and René Jean Dupuy. And for more than 35 years, more than 4,200 graduates have been trained. Now they assume many positions all over Africa. My university taught me that serving Africa starts by preparing to change it. I take a lot of pleasure when I roam the continent and come across my colleagues and the classmates who now assume key positions all over the continent in the public or private sector. The university prepares its programs in 17 countries through its different branches with the same level of excellence and the same level of ambitious. Egypt is proud to host in the city of Alexandria an excellent example of university education, which is Senghor University for the Development of Africa. Here is the university making successes day after day when it comes to preparing African leaders of high caliber. In response to the request of the Senghor University, Egypt will construct a new campus for the university, one that is more spacious and more vast than the current campus. Since the opening of the new campus in Burj Al Arab that is offered by the Arab Republic of Egypt, the university now has the facilities that are enable it to achieve its aspirations and to provide a comprehensive educational experience to the students. We provide residencies that and a comprehensive university community because learning together is a skill in and of itself. The library is the beating heart of the university, and there are also 2 video production studios and 12 classrooms. And there are also 14 spaces for projects and spaces for innovation and interactive tools and high-speed internet. But the essence of the experience is not just about the walls, but what is being built within these walls, where cultures converge and disciplines meet and leaders are formed to become capable of create. Living in Sangor is choosing Africa and believing in Africa. Living in Sangor is to prepare and to innovate the Africa of tomorrow.
This new campus represents a testimony, not only the architectural achievement, but a symbol of hope and progress. This manifests our collective ambitions for a brighter future, and reconfirms that there is a need for having qualified leaders returning back to their home countries, carrying the needed knowledge to transform. Your Excellencies, the presidents of the presidents of the country, Sangor University is your university. It's a distinguished university, and it will stay like that because of your support, and it will continue its message. Your Excellency, the President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, the new campus that we have just seen now is the fruit of your commitment and the fruit of the promise that you have given to the Secretary General of the Francophonie. Egypt is proving actually that you have this joint institution, and it would have an impact. On behalf of the faculty, we'd like to express our appreciation. Mr. President Abdel Fattah El Sisi, the new campus that we are inaugurating today is the fruit of a distinctive collective work where the Egyptian government and all the competent authorities have participated in addition to the Armed Forces Engineering Authority and the university. All of them have formed a harmonized team that have worked with a commitment spirit and constructive cooperation. Without your support, Mr. President, we would never had this achievement. This new campus carries the signature of Dr. Midhat Abu Zaid, who disposed his talent generously to serve this project free of charge. So on behalf of the university, and on behalf of all partners, would like to convey all thanks and Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the population of reach 2 billion by 2050. There is a need for competent cadres. This new campus provides us with all the required tools so that can face such challenge, and we can graduate men and women who returns back to their countries equipped with the talents and the analytical skills that can make them impactful in their institutions. Many of them are now assuming positions in international organizations and across the continent. Today, we are pleased to have a number of our graduates. We'd like to thank them for coming today, and we'll listen to one of our distinguished graduates, Mr. Omar Diop from Senegal. He graduated from Senghor University 20 years ago. Omar, the floor is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Omar Diop. I was born in a rural village in Senegal, Gioul, 200 kilometers away from Dakar. I was raised with my grandmother. Before joining my family, the family that has 7 children, I joined them in Moboro, and it's a small mining village. We suffered from financial challenges. My father was working under the supervision of engineers, and he really was admiring them, and me too. This made me did my best to study, and I was at the top of my class in the preparatory stage, and I finished my baccalaureate with accepted grade, with an accepted grade. After that, I was graduated from the Faculty of Engineering from TS. The dream of my father came true, but when I started the field work, I felt that there is something I miss. I was working with financial experts, project managers, development bank experts, and I was seeing what they are doing and the impact they are leaving. I was saying to myself, I can do that and more if I have the keys. I was newly married, and I didn't have savings and a family that can provide me or pay my study abroad. One day, I read an advertisement in Jeune Afrique magazine on a contest to join an international university in Alexandria and the possibility of having a scholarship. This was Senghor University. I applied, and I was accepted with 4 colleagues from Senegal that year. And after 2 years, I was graduated, the top of my class, with a very good grade. What Senghor provided to me, not just a certificate, it was a real transformation. We enter the university, while we are engineers, accountants, agronomists, jurists, and we leave the university with a vision of development and an extended network of relationship across Africa. We have unwavering conviction that Africa can build itself with the arms of its men and women. 25 years passed. Today, I manage on behalf of the Senegalese government a program valued $600 million to modernize the national grid and to improve the access to energy in rural areas. And in addition to that, the reform in the electricity sector. Before that, I managed investment portfolios in 44 African countries from Nairobi. The son of Gioul now is efficient in the development of his continent, and Senghor University played a primary role in this regard. I'm not a unique case. There are hundreds of the graduates of this university who are assuming today important positions in governments, financial institutions, universities, private sector, across Africa and Haiti. We are working silently, but we are here and we leave an impact. I recall the African proverb that summarizes the whole journey. If you think that education would cost you, try the ignorance. Senghor would not cost a lot. Senghor transforms the people's life and transforms a whole continent. Senghor changed me. Thank you.
Merci Omar. Et c'est bien dit.
Well said, Omar. If you think that education is costly, then try ignorance.
Bien dit Omar.
Well said, Omar. If you think that education is costly, then try ignorance. Congratulations on your excellent career, Your Excellencies. It is sometimes said that the Francophonie belongs to the past. However, Omar and many like him have proven otherwise. The Francophonie is a space for work and leaving an impact, and the Senghor University is part of that space that serves the African development. Indeed, my dear Hani, every 2 years and soon every 1 year we will be receiving 160 professionals from among 4,000 applicants that apply and that sit written tests and also interviews. For the past classes, they were selected through or with the help of artificial intelligence. They then embark on a warrior's journey. Every one of them has a journey of courage and perseverance. I would like to invite Sarah from the new class, and she's also the head of the student union. She's from the Central African Republic. I would like to invite her to take the floor.
Je suis Sarah.
My name is Sarah, and I belong to the most fortunate class, the 20th.